In the heart of England, a shocking scene recently unfolded that has left many questioning the very state of free speech and national identity in the United Kingdom. A British patriot standing on the very soil of his homeland was arrested, yes, arrested, for simply chanting, "Come on, England."
Come on, England! Come on, England! Your man! England! What's going on? What's going on? Where comes me? Speech, no! What did you do? Lock me up for no, mate. There's nothing wrong, mate. They were saying England. They're walking down the street saying England, and they got arrested. No, mate. Locked up for no, boys. Slam it. Really slam it. Really slam it. Go on, slam it. Yeah. Oh, that was terrible.
Let that sink in. In England, by a British citizen, for saying something that just a few years ago would have been seen as nothing more than patriotic enthusiasm. The incident occurred during a pro-Palestinian demonstration in a UK city. The streets were filled with people waving Palestinian flags, chanting slogans in support of Gaza, and expressing anger over the ongoing conflict in the Middle East.
We won't be silent! Support Gaza now, 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 now! Free, free Palestine!
These types of demonstrations have become increasingly common across the UK in recent months, drawing thousands to the streets in protest of foreign wars and demanding government action. It was during this particular protest that a British man approached, reportedly chanting "Come on, England" as he walked past the crowds. His tone was not aggressive, nor was he carrying any weapons or instigating violence. But within minutes, he was surrounded by police, handcuffed, and taken away under the suspicion of inciting a disturbance. Make your opinion count by liking this video and promoting it for more awareness. Also, share and subscribe to our channel for upcoming updates. Let's challenge the narrative together. The video of the arrest quickly went viral, drawing outrage from many who saw it as a symbol of everything wrong with the current state of Britain. What? How can it be that someone can be arrested for expressing pride in their own country, on their own streets, during a protest in support of another nation? This isn't just about one arrest. It's about what the arrest represents. It raises a deeply uncomfortable question. Is the UK government prioritising the interests and sensitivities of foreign cultures over the rights and freedoms of its own citizens? All across the country, people are starting to feel like strangers in their own land. They're watching as familiar traditions are quietly removed from public life, as national pride is labelled dangerous, and as criticism of certain ideologies is swiftly silenced. And all the while, they're being told that it's for the sake of diversity, inclusivity, and tolerance. But tolerance should be a two-way street. What we're witnessing now is a growing imbalance, one where British citizens are expected to bend, to adapt, to censor themselves, while others are given free rein in the name of cultural sensitivity. We're told to be mindful of offending others, yet no one seems to care when British customs, identity, or pride are trampled on. Let's be clear. No one is denying the right to peaceful protest. People have every right to raise awareness about global issues and to stand in solidarity with those suffering abroad. But when the mere act of saying "Come on, England" is treated like a potential hate crime, it becomes painfully obvious that something is seriously wrong. There's no denying that the UK has changed, and in many ways, change can be good. But the question is, change into what? A country where national pride is criminalised, where expressing traditional values is considered offensive, where laws are being warped to favour political correctness over common sense. This isn't an isolated incident either. In another recent case, reports emerged that telling someone to speak English could now be considered a hate crime.
You've alleged, we weren't here, so I don't know you said it, but you've alleged to say, speak English? Or what's that effect?
Speak clearly.
Speak clearly.
No,
okay.
the gentleman's partially deaf.
Yeah, he can speak clearly.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even hear him.
No, and that's fine, and that's why we've just come to speak, because potentially someone could perceive that as a hate crime.
Pause and think about that. In England, asking someone to speak the national language could get you in trouble with the law. There was a time when speaking English was not only expected, it was a sign of respect. It was about communication, unity, and integration. Now it's being twisted into something sinister, as if expecting people to adapt to the language of the country they live in is somehow oppressive. The sad truth is that many of these changes are being tolerated for the sake of political gain. Politicians are too afraid to offend, too desperate for votes, and too eager to present an image of modern Britain that, in many ways, doesn't reflect the reality on the ground. They talk about inclusion, but what about the inclusion of the native population? What about those who feel they've been pushed to the sidelines in their own communities? We're told time and time again that Britain is a free country. But how free can it be when speech is censored, patriotism is punished, and double standards run rampant? This isn't about hate, it's about fairness. It's about the right to be proud of your country without fear of persecution. It's about the ability to walk the streets and express yourself without being labelled a threat. It's about ensuring that British values, freedom, fairness, and respect are upheld for everyone. People are angry, and they have every right to be. They're watching their towns and cities change beyond recognition. They're watching as their taxes go towards supporting systems that no longer seem to support them. They're watching as their voices are dismissed, their concerns ignored, and their traditions erased. And in the middle of all this, they're being told to stay quiet, to not rock the boat, to accept that this is just how things are now. But more and more people are refusing to stay silent. The arrest of that man for chanting, "Come on England," may seem like a minor incident on the surface, but it's symbolic of a much larger issue that's brewing beneath the surface of British society. It speaks to a growing feeling that the country is losing its way, trading common sense for ideology, and silencing its own citizens in the process. The UK has always been a nation of tolerance, yes, but also of resolve, of identity, of pride. And when those things are stripped away, when citizens are made to feel like second-class participants in their own culture, the consequences can be devastating. That's the question we all need to ask. Do we continue down this path of censorship, division, and cultural erosion? Or do we take a stand, not against people, but against the policies and practices that are tearing the country apart? The British people deserve better. They deserve to walk their own streets without fear. They deserve to speak their minds without being labelled. They deserve to wave their flag, sing their songs, and yes, chant "Come on England" without a pair of handcuffs waiting around the corner. It's time for a real conversation, one that puts the rights of citizens first, one that acknowledges the damage being done in the name of progress, one that demands a return to balance and common sense. If you're watching this and you feel the same frustration, you are not alone. This channel is a space for real talk, for real people, and for voices that are too often shut out of the mainstream media. Subscribe if you believe in free speech. Like this video if you think patriotism should never be a crime. And let me know in the comments, have you seen things like this in your area? What's happening in your community? Until next time, stay strong, stay proud, and never be afraid to speak the truth.